Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right, you were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Yay!
Ooh.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Today we are going to look at a movie from 2013 called The Colony. But first,
Yes.
oh, that's horrible. What the hell? Green. Oh, because we did the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite the green.
That is very green. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so before we get to the movie, the one thing I would like to talk about
Mm-hmm.
is
Have you seen it?
no, and it's not actually Nosferatu that I want to talk about. Well, it is because it is now out on digital.
Yes, I was
Very
actually planning on
expensive
watching it
to
this
rent
weekend.
it or buy it. Yeah, so was I. And then, as you can see, when it comes out on 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, there's an extended cut, a director's
Oh.
cut. And I have started buying a lot more physical media lately. And
Mhm.
what I forgot is that back in the day, not too long ago, when people were really buying movies, is that the studios like to double dip.
Yes.
Or they really wanted you to buy it rather than rent it. So they came out with director's cuts and extended cuts and unrated cuts and movies like Kingdom of Heaven, which I did not like.
I don't think I've seen it.
This has like over an hour added, and apparently,
Jesus.
it's a really good movie if you watch the director's cut.
Yeah.
Another movie that I loved. I didn't even know there was an extended cut.
Oh.
And I was on eBay, and I'm a lot of these I bought for $2, $1. Hangover, a lot of comedies. Ted unrated,
Mm,
Role Models unrated, which I think we both liked that movie when we reviewed it.
yes, we did.
American Pie unrated,
Classic.
Anchorman extended,
Not that big of a fan.
even Cop Out extended. The Other Guys, Dodgeball. You get the point.
Dodgeball's my favorite movie of all time.
And these are unrated. A lot of them were comedies, and
Yeah.
you might get an extra F word, a booby here, there. But other movies like Alien,
Mhm.
this one comes with actually 8. It comes with 4, and then extended cuts and director's cut.
Oh.
And where is it here? Like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, where it's hours of added stuff on, and the original Star Trek, where you get like the director's cut of the first movie. I'm not a big fan of the first movie, but
Mm.
I really want to see. And that apparently the director's cut of Wrath of Khan is amazing.
Interesting.
One of the movies that I love that was not hailed as a good movie is Waterworld.
Oh.
And this comes with 40 minutes of extra movie.
Isn't it already ridiculously long?
I think so.
I was gonna say, isn't it already like 2.5 hours? 3
Yeah,
hours long, something like
the,
that.
the theatrical 4K and then the extended version with 40 additional minutes. What's the regular one?
God bless.
Yeah, it's not like it was an hour and a half. I think it was like a 2 hour, at least.
No,
2
it was at
hours.
least 2 hours, but I
Yeah.
remember people being like, "This is way too long," because it was like 2.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. These are the questions I have.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So a lot of like the 4K ones I did not get for like $2, but all those ones that I showed you, the Blu-rays, I got for $2, and I forgot all about these unrated director's cuts and extended cuts, and I love extra movie, even if it's just a little bit, but some really make a difference. Like it's a whole new
Yeah.
movie. So do I watch Nosferatu this weekend? Or do I wait until February 18th for the 4K? I've heard it's a great movie. It's got amazing reviews.
I've heard it's
I love the
visually
director.
stunning.
Yeah. And that's
And
another thing. Like, I would love to get a 4K. Blu-rays are fine for comedies, some action movies, science
Yeah.
fiction, horror, and really good actions. Like, is where I'm spending money on 4K. And that's
you also have a 4K TV, right?
I have a 4K TV and a 4K player. Yeah.
I do not have either of those, so 4K is useless for me right now.
Yeah. No.
And I just have a regular DVD player. I don't even have a Blu-ray. I'm like, DVDs.
Oh.
Okay, for the longest time, I've been living off of like a 29-inch. For the longest time, I was living off a 29-inch like bargain basement TV, flat screen TV that I bought when my TV broke down. I couldn't even make it 24 hours without watching something. I was like, this is ridiculous. I need something on TV. Anyways, I bought it at Walmart for like $100, and I
Mhm.
still use it to this day. It's a little sketch, but it's still going. But I do have large screen TVs now that take up half a wall. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I like watching action movies on there.
Yes.
Anything with sweeping landscapes. Like if someone says the cinematography in this movie is amazing, I'm watching it on a bigger screen. Just
Yeah.
it makes for a better effect. I can't answer your question though because I am dying to see Nosferatu.
That, and so am I. I really want to see it, but I'm not paying $20-$30 and then another $30 or
No, for
$40.
sure, and I
I'm
get
not paying
it.
$100 to see this fucking movie.
No, and I get that. And I think maybe it's just me, but I don't mind spending 20 or $30
No.
to
No.
buy the movie,
Yeah. No, neither
watch
do I.
it, see if I even like it, where it's worth buying the DVD and getting the 4K and getting the because what if you watch it and you end up hating? I don't think you will, but especially not for Nosferatu. I've heard really great things, but I don't know if it's like I'm one of those people where I'm like, but is it going to be one of those movies that I'm going to want to reach for? Or is it just going to be a really great memory where
Yeah,
you're like,
one
God, that movie
time,
was yeah.
and
Or
then
is
watch
it
it
like
way down the road.
is it a once every 5-10 years? Like, because look, there are a lot of incredible movies that I love. I'm not watching them every year or several times a year.
Mhm.
So I'm like, is it something where I want to have a physical copy? Because the rule I always have is I buy the DVD if it's something that if the power goes out, the internet goes out, it's a movie I will want to reach for.
Yeah.
This is my one and only like rule. Because I'm like, if the internet goes down, what do I want to entertain me? What can I watch on repeat?
Mhm.
So that's how I choose my hardcore, my physical DVDs.
Yeah.
Everything else I'm like, I can do in digital. It's fine. I just bought The Hunt in digital because I
The
felt like,
Hunt.
oh,
Is that what's their name? They gather all the people and take them to like a
yeah,
European country
to the
and hunt them down?
manor. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Hunt.
That was a great movie, by the
Where
way.
all the Democrats round up some Republicans who have criticized them
And hunt them down.
and hunt them
Yeah, that
down.
was a good movie.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
So I've been feeling a lot of rage, so I just needed some indiscriminate killing this this week in my movies. So The Hunt was on there, and I was like, you know what? I love this movie. Why haven't I bought it? So I bought it, but I just bought the digital copy, and I will probably end up getting the physical copy at some point. But I can't answer your question because chances are I'm going to buy the digital copy of Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Because I would very much like to make a promise. I'm making a promise to myself that this year I'm going to watch all the movies that are nominated for the big ones, for the big categories.
Hmm.
So, best director, best picture, supporting and leading actor and actress. Also music, because there are a few musicals in there, so I guess I'm gonna have to watch Wicked.
Actually, I said this. I can't remember if it was last week or the week
Yeah.
before. It wasn't a movie made for me.
Yes.
It's not a movie I would seek out, but it wasn't bad. I looked at my watch only because I had to get dinner going and I knew it was coming up, but it wasn't like, oh my God, will this fucking thing end?
Which is always amazing.
Yeah, it was very entertaining, very bright.
Yeah.
Cinematography was spectacular. The effects were spectacular. There was music, and it was
Mhm.
very well done. Will I watch it again? I have all girls, probably.
Oh, it'll
It's
be on in your
not,
house.
yeah, it's not going to be something that I go to like sit by myself on a Sunday left alone. But it wasn't as bad. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's quite enjoyable. Okay, so yeah, then that's one of the things I was wondering because I did buy a 4K. I do have a very big TV, 65-inch mid-level in entry TV, still $1,500.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near the best or anything, but it's nice to look at. And when I did get the 4K player, I did start watching some 4K. They do look very nice.
I can
Very,
believe it.
very nice. And 4K UHD on like Netflix, buying them, they look great.
Mhm.
Not quite as good. And sometimes you get those little digital
Yeah.
pixelated stuff. And the one thing about the 4K player is that it upscales DVDs and Blu-rays
Oh, nice.
to make them look even better. So
Oh,
there you
fantastic.
go.
That may be my next DVD player purchase.
Yeah, I forgot how expensive buying movies or how addicting it is.
It's terrible. Every time I see DVDs for sale, I'm like, "Ooh, what do you have?
Yeah. Yeah.
What else can I get? Oh my god, I love that movie." Then you
Yeah, they're
watch it.
disappearing though. A lot of places aren't selling them anymore.
It's harder to find. It's harder to
Yeah.
find. But I mean, if you still go to like a Value Village or Goodwill, you're more likely to find like places where people donate,
Mhm.
you're more likely to find DVDs.
Yep. All right. The Colony. Let's take a look at the poster. It's all right.
I mean, Bill Paxton, Laurence Fishburne, Kevin Zegers,
Yeah. Got
and
some
then
snow and
Frozen Wasteland
frozen wasteland. Yeah.
with a
pretty much.
bridge.
Yeah.
The bridge means a lot. It's a
It's
very
not.
important bridge.
Yeah, and it's not that exciting, but yeah, it reminds me of a very well done or remember straight to videos.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, what the hell did this come out? I didn't, and yeah, it's like, oh, look, it has Lawrence Fishburne and Bill Paxton and some guy I don't know, but he looks familiar.
He was in Mortal Instruments.
Air Bud.
Air Bud.
Yeah.
Canadian actor, apparently from Woodstock, Ontario. What? There were actually quite a few Canadian actors in this where I was like, oh hey, I recognize you. Yeah, no, he did some like kind of younger stuff, and then he hasn't really been he was super popular for a little bit, and then he just kind of like faded a little bit, but I think he's been working steady.
And it came in at a very nice 1 hour and 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's rated R for gore and horror. Let's take a look at The Colony. See, I'm trying to do this where I'm just as surprised as you are.
I appreciate it.
All right, so here's some taglines. Will Earth wait for us?
The fuck?
Oh, wait. It's a different movie called The Colony, but it's a different movie.
I was gonna say, I was like, that makes no sense.
When the world changes, the rule of survival change with it.
Eh,
And I think that's it.
I don't think the rules of survival should change.
No.
Just be a decent human being.
Yeah, good luck. Good cast. I love Bill Paxton. I love
Yeah.
Laurence Fishburne.
Yep.
They're always solid. And actually, even the supporting cat, like him and her, were pretty good. A couple of the other
You
survivalists.
mean Kai, played by Charlotte Sullivan?
Yeah. Yeah,
She
they
was
were.
on Rookie Blue,
Oh, okay, yeah,
which is a really fun TV
and
show.
she's the only post-apocalyptic survivalist that actually has makeup and has her hair done and looks
Well,
pretty
of
good.
course, because she's Sam's girlfriend.
I remember watching. There was a thing where The Walking Dead, where they used to be all gruff and dirty and stuff,
Yep.
and now they said the new one with what is his name? Daryl Dixon
Yep.
and what's her name showed up in the show, and she's got like
Yeah.
a nice leather jacket, some earrings, her hair is done. Like Jesus.
Well, when you have the time to scavenge,
Yeah,
I mean, you behead a couple zombies, you realize they're wearing some really cute earrings.
yeah.
You run that leather jacket through a creek or a river,
Yeah.
and it's like brand new.
Spa day. All right, let's take a look at our trailer reaction. This was last week. We watched the trailer to end our show. Next week, we are watching 2013's The Colony. It's not a well-known movie.
Yeah, no.
I remember liking it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't remember that much of the movie. I remember liking it,
Yeah,
but I don't remember
but I
that
haven't
much.
seen it since 2013 or whenever I watched
Same.
2014. Yeah,
I
so I'm
probably would have
wondering
seen it in
why.
2015.
Yeah.
Like it would have been on TV.
All right, let's share this. So that was a Mighty Ducks 1992. Next week, we are watching The Colony from 2013 with Laurence Fishburne, who we just watched Assault on Precinct 13,
Mm-hmm.
and Bill Paxton, who I really miss. He made some
Me
really
too.
awesome movies.
He was so good.
All right, so
The world froze a long time ago. So long ago that I can't remember the warmth of the sun. The planet grew hotter as our fuel was burned. One day, it started to snow, and it never stopped. When the food ran out, most of the people in the world died. But not the people in this place.
A few hours ago, we received a distress signal from Colony 5. I think they're worth checking up on.
We need to take care of our own, Briggs. They just put the whole colony at risk.
That's really not your decision to make. We're sending a team, and I'm leading it. Welcome to Colony 5.
What happened here?
We're from Colony 7. Came to help.
Are they gone? Who? Is anyone else alive? Define their life.
My God. They slaughtered everybody for food.
It's the hunger. Just drove them mad. There's nothing human left.
And they're coming here. And it'll kill us.
You led them straight to us.
I do remember this.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. I don't remember, but yeah, I remember a little bit more than I did.
Yeah.
Trailer's good.
Trailer's great.
Post-apocalyptic. I love it in the snow. If you could do a movie in
yeah.
the snow, because it's so much harder but it's so much bleaker.
Yes, 100%. I think
Like-
that's why 30 Days of Night
Yeah.
has such a like almost desperate vibe to it.
The Thing, the
Yes.
Thing, anything in the snow. It just seems more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it.
I think I'm really gonna like it. I
Yeah.
remember really liking it, and now that I've seen, it was when I saw Kevin Zegers, I was like, "Oh, right, he's in this too." And I was then like a lot of the movie came flashing back to me, and I was like, "Right, I remember this." So that's fantastic. I'm glad I've seen this before. I always get so worried when I'm like, I remember watching it, but I don't remember that much of the movie.
All right, that was our trailer watch. Your initial thoughts of The Colony from 2013?
I liked it. I mean, was it cinematic genius? No. No, it wasn't.
Nope, it was
Um,
not.
was it engaging enough that I wasn't bored through the entire thing? Yeah, it was. There was only I only checked the time once. Because it felt really long. It wasn't actually that long, but the first half felt a little long. And I was like, I was expecting more like shooting, fighting, and blowing up. And then the shooting, fighting, and blowing up showed up. So I was like, oh, okay, here it is. But I mean, the first half was still enjoyable. So I mean, I liked it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I liked it too. It wasn't great.
Mm,
Again, it was very serviceable. It's like it knew what it was, what it had
mm-hmm.
available to it, and it used it properly. And it wasn't anything more. It wasn't anything less. This, like I said, this was one of those. If you went to Blockbuster, and this was one of those straight to video movies, but
100%.
sometimes you got a really good one and you were pleasantly surprised. This was that movie.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, first, let's take a look at. I'm going to share here. Because I never looked at any of this. All right. It's not even on here. Oh, there it is. Okay, it had a budget of 16 million. I did look that up. Oh God, it made $557,000.
Oh my God.
It should have went straight to video.
It did go straight to video. Domestic has no box
Nothing.
office, just
Nothing.
international.
Wow.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Yeah,
It hurts my heart for them. Let's be real.
Yeah. Like it opened up only 6 markets. Yeah, it was a straight to video movie.
Wow.
So there you go, a straight to video movie. It was a good one. It was one of those ones where if you got it, it was always a gamble.
I mean, yeah. I kind of
But-
like the gamble though.
Yeah.
That was always fun for me.
Okay, I'll share this so you'll see it at the same time I do. Let's get rid of you. I know the other one kind of flowed a little bit better, but I do like not knowing. I don't see this movie being a critical darling.
No. No, my friends.
There we go. And with 34 reviews, it comes in at 18%.
Yar.
And with just over 5,000 reviews from movie watchers, it comes in at 23%.
Yep. I mean, not surprising.
No, it's a very, I don't want to say TV movie, but it's
No, but it definitely feels like a very high budget TV movie.
yes.
And I'm
All right.
okay with that. I love me a good TV movie. So
Are you on Rotten Tomatoes?
I am.
Okay, I'll start with the good. If you want to
Okay.
find a bad, it should be easier for me because it's not a lot. While it certainly never transcends its B-movie trappings, a valiant attempt by its 2 lead performers helped distract from some of the larger faults and obvious use of distracting CGI. Nicholas Bell, IonCinema.com. And I agree, yeah, some of the CGI was very well done.
Yeah, and some of it
not so much.
Yeah. And directly under Nicholas is actually, I think, a very accurate negative review from Jenny Kermode from I for Film. It says, rather than watching tough survivors taking on a deadly foe, we are watching something more akin to a low achieving mouse trying to fight off a gang of militant carpet beetles, which is accurate, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, there are very few people who are actually like properly, most of these people have just been living underground
Yeah.
for like 15 years.
Collection of disparate genre parts that are presented with a noted lack of snark or irony. Scott Weinberg, Fear Net.
Dustin Putman from thefilmfile.com says a pretty standard post-apocalyptic thriller, economical but unsure of what it wants to be. And I kind of get that too.
Small scale science fiction horror story full of big troubling ideas about what a new dark age might look like. Marian Johansson, flick philosopher.
And Maitland McDonough from Film Journal International says formulaic post-apocalyptic thriller. When you don't especially care who lives and who dies, all the skull-crunching action doesn't amount to a hill of beans.
Okay.
Valid.
And yeah. It's decently acted, delivers some well-executed jolts, doesn't insult the viewer's intelligence, and is mercifully free of ironic distance. Ernest Hardy, Village Voice. And I'm done. So if you want to do a couple, if you see some that are,
I'm gonna read.
I've got
this
no
one
more.
just because it's slightly like from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Teardad Darakshani. This one's just funny, so I'm sharing it. Charlotte Sullivan looks really, really cute in blonde dreadlocks, but she can't save the movie, nor can her impressive co-stars Bill Paxton, Kevin Zegers, and Laurence Fishburne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why people didn't like this movie.
I can see why too.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
Like I'm thinking, like if you're like Mad Max, what's that one? Doomsday, the
Yeah.
England one. Yeah, it's harkened to those, just on a smaller scale, much smaller scale. All right, IMDb, the voice of reason. Where'd you go? There you are. 48,000 ratings, comes in at 5.3. Yeah,
That's actually not bad. That's not bad.
no, that's not bad. If you want to start with 10,
I like this one. Exactly what I wanted, and then a little bit more. The inconvenient comedian. This is so weird. The inconvenient comedian. That's it. Oh, jeez. I was having trouble reading that.
yeah. Here's a 9 out of 10. Not that bad as one of horror movies. Human is food.
8 out of 10. Actually a 7.5 out of 10, but I'll give it an 8 since it's a B movie done well.
Here's a 7 out of 10 from Sitterite. Probably realistic because people are naturally stupid. It's not wrong.
No. Here's a 6 out of 10 from Simon K101. Slightly underrated, but not much.
All right, 5 out of 10. This one's from Denault 10. Promised a lot, delivered little. 5 out of 10.
4 out of 10 from Jason Bulldog. Slow to start, predictable, horrible ending.
Here's Noman Meltdown. So many glaring why's. 3 out of 10.
Here's a 2 out of 10 from Positive B. Cliche, and what do you know? Another cliche.
I don't
Oh
know.
Lord.
Halfway through, I actually started chatting with my girlfriend. Ruben Lambolgan, 1 out of 10.
That's terrible.
And then there was another one underneath that was kind of funny. Like, oh no, it's COVID. So, all right. Okay, so yeah, that is the movie, and we kind of liked it. So let's get ready to go through it. I will play a thing here. Do 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 do.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
All right. So the Colony, 2013. We both didn't mind it. Yeah. So let's go over this movie. Humans have built climate modification towers to control Earth's warming climate due to climate change. Ooh. The towers, however, inadvertently cause a new ice age. Of course they do. By 2045, the remnants of human civilization live in underground bunkers to escape the extreme cold. This is one of the things that I did like about this movie. It's not complex. It's very simple. There's nothing, and most of the time these type of movies are, we fucked up. That's pretty much how the Mad Max, the Carrier, it doesn't matter what it is. We did something and screwed up.
Ultimately, humanity is usually the one who pays the price.
Yeah. And usually the one who got us there.
True story.
Yeah. Their challenges are controlling disease and producing sufficient food. Two soldiers, Briggs, Laurence Fishburne, and Mason, Bill Paxton, are the leaders of one such bunker, Colony 7. Briggs, Sam, Kevin Zegers.
Yep.
And Graydon, Atticus Dean Mitchell.
Yes.
Oh, right. The young kid. Okay. Travel to nearby Colony 5.
The teenager.
Okay. All right. Before we travel to Colony 5, yeah, because it starts with Buddy working on something out there with, and then they're bringing out this guy who has, I guess, the common cold or the flu.
The flu.
Yeah. And they're like, you got to go.
Well, I think initially it was like, I'm going to shoot you. And he's like, nah, man, I've got a choice. I can either walk away or you can shoot me. But I get
what would you pick? If anyone's listening to this or watching later, what would you pick? If you watched the movie and you remember you had a chance, you had the flu, you got to go. Would you take the bullet or would you walk out in the cold?
See, I'm a kid from the 80s. I'm going to walk it off.
I was going to say I would probably, but then I'm like, I remember having coats and shit on and going, it's fucking cold. Like last week, it was fucking cold.
Last week, this week.
And this week.
It's been
this
fucking
week.
Cold. It's finally starting to warm up. Finally.
It looked a lot colder there in the movie.
It did.
So I might take.
I mean, at the same time, I'd rather freeze to death, to be perfectly honest. You're not going to shoot me because I have the flu. Also, putting me outside doesn't actually help anybody. Why is there not a quarantine building outside where they have a little wood fireplace or something where they're away from everybody and they just drink broth? Yeah. They have chickens. You can make chicken broth. Anyways, I was a little annoyed by them. I'm like, okay, like I understand you have to control disease. Like I get that. You can't just let it run rampant because then you could wipe out the entire population of this colony. But at the same time, I'm like, walk or shoot, that seems extreme. Are you telling me that in the amount of time that you guys have been in this like outpost, nobody's had the thought, hey, we should just separate these people in a separate building?
Yeah.
Like nobody's had that thought. But anyways, yeah, so they give him the option of walk or shoot.
Well, no, because Mason, Bill Paxton's character, doesn't give him the option. He just shoots him.
Yes. Yeah. And then I think is it Sam who's like, you can't do that. So then he tells Briggs is all like, man.
But Sam did, over a voiceover, did say the last flu killed 20 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I understand the caution, but you're still supposed to give them the choice. You can't just go around killing all willy-nilly. because you never know, you may kill someone who has a skill that you need. Survival matters most. But anyways,
Well, and then Briggs wants everybody to come to a community meeting, and that's when he says they got an SOS from Colony 5. Then we meet that couple, and the husband is like, breathe slowly, do not cough.
he's trying to make it so that his wife is not showing her symptoms.
Yeah.
Because she's not feeling the greatest.
And then at the end of this meeting, they decide to go to Colony 5, and she coughs violently.
And goes into quarantine.
Yeah.
Husband's trying to be like, no, she's fine. She is not fine.
No.
She's got a
Oh, she has a hack attack. Yeah.
Yeah,
If I
she's
was
having a
Mace, I
hard
would have
time.
shot her there. She would have been like, bang.
And this is why you're not in charge of anything.
I would have been screaming and then just shooting.
Can I tell you, at my colony, you would not have a gun.
Yeah, it'd be very wise not to give me a gun at Colony.
No. I'd also probably put you in like oven mitts and like duct tape those around your wrists and not let you touch anything. But that's just me.
Yeah. I'd be like, that's right. You cough, you get shot. And if anyone said something, I'm like, hey, is that a sniffle I hear coming out of you? That's right. Shut your mouth.
So Sam snitches to Briggs about Mason. Briggs, after he announces that the three of them, because Graydon, the like 17, 18-year-old, whatever he is, volunteers to go with them. His parents are like, no, take someone else. And Briggs is all like, I'm sure you'll do fine.
Yeah.
He puts Kai in charge, Sam's girlfriend, who's also in charge of the seeds, which is incredibly important.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, without food, you die. So,
and they have a problem with the rabbits. The rabbits aren't doing it.
They're not
more rabbits.
They're not doing it.
Too
and
cold.
The litters are dying. So they're coming out stillborn. And Sam notices and he says, well, they're having the same problem we're having. They need protein. And I'm like, I understand it's super freezing outside, but does nobody know how to build a shelter that has insulation? I know there's not a lot of materials available, and I'm not saying, but I'm like, there were outbuildings, and I would
they
have
walk through a
colony very
city.
differently. Yeah,
I'm sure you could grab a couple things.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sure there's a Home Depot in that city that still has wood left over.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd
Build
be the
yourself a
first place I
greenhouse.
go after apocalypse.
Yeah, build yourself a
At
greenhouse.
Walmart.
Then Walmart. Get the snacks. So anyways, they leave Kai in charge. The three of them leave, and they head off to Colony 5.
Yes.
Who they've tried to raise on the radio, and they cannot contact them.
No.
Nobody's responding.
So upon arrival, they find Colony 5 covered in blood. They eventually reach a locked door, which Sam picks open because they hear knocking.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, they find Leland. Is this a guy from Supernatural?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Also,
I look familiar.
Funnily enough, when I was grocery shopping last week,
Oh, yeah, you told me that.
I was walking around the store, saw him there, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was right behind him when he was cashing out.
Oh, you should have told him.
"Yeah."
Oh, we didn't know we were doing that. You should have said you're going to be watching this movie.
I did not know he was in it.
Oh, yeah, right.
And then I saw him and I was like, Death. He has a name, Julian Richings. I am very, very sorry, Mr. Richings. I swear I'm not crazy.
So Leland shows them a message they received from another group of people who actually fixed a weather machine and have caused the snow to thaw. I think it was like an 8-mile radius or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
So they have the land now, but they need seeds.
And then basically what Leland says is that they went to a place where the thing was broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't find anything, but there were people there waiting or got their track and followed them back. And these were people that are feral and they hunt people down to eat them.
I'd like to point out
there's your protein.
A lot of protein.
Yeah.
I could not.
Be telling people to stop looking at me.
When he mentions the feral people and then they say, we came because we heard the knocking, and he's like, I wasn't knocking.
I wasn't the one. I wasn't knocking. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, nice. Good move. Nice.
The group offers aid to anyone who asks that they bring seeds so they can be planted in the newly thawed permafrost soil. Leland shows them where the signal came from, but informs them that an expedition failed to find the source of the transmission. Moreover, the expedition tracks led a marauding group of cannibals back to Colony 5, and the killing ensued. Briggs, Sam, and Graydon try to force Leland to return with them, but he locks himself back in the room. Yeah, I get it.
Well,
I
I
get
mean-
what's his name. He didn't even want to go down. He's like, shouldn't someone stay up here, just in case?
No, and that would have probably been a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when Leland's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna stay here," and then he like locks them out of the room. I was like, I mean, I kind of get it. These like crazy cannibals literally killed everybody
Yeah.
you lived with. I keep myself locked in a room too. Also, they gave
And-
him a little bit of water and some like beef jerky. He's good.
Yeah, he's good for a few more days.
Yeah.
I also, when they were coming to Colony 5, they were crossing the bridge and they found a truck. I'm assuming the mother, daughter, and I'm guessing the father, he shot them and then shot himself, were from Colony 5. I just assumed that.
I did not assume that.
Oh, because I thought if they would have noticed it the last time they crossed.
Well, no, because when they're in a car, and nobody else in this movie drives.
That's
anywhere.
true too. Oh, I thought maybe they were trying
So
to.
I thought
beat
they
the
were part
cold.
of the initial like, oh, it's really, really cold. Let's try and find somewhere. They couldn't make it, or they were being chased by feral cannibals. So yeah, I think it was shoot. I don't think he was shot though, the dad.
Oh, he might have just froze. Yeah,
might have just
I don't
frozen.
remember seeing a bullet in him.
I didn't see a bullet wound.
No.
So I was like, oh, he froze protecting his family, but then you see that the family's been shot. And I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Oh, did he run out of bullets?
Yeah,
Then I
maybe.
felt really bad because I was like, man, it's gotta suck.
Yeah. Remind me of The Mist.
Yeah.
One of the most heartbreaking endings you could ever see. All right. The three then begin to explore Colony 5 and approach a room where a fire burns. Here they see a human chopping up members of Colony 5 while the others feast on human remains.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie did this well. The gore was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was bloody and gross.
It was almost excessive. And I know it should feel excessive, so I wasn't mad at it. Like it was excessive but not exploitative. Like it was very like, okay, this is what you need to worry about. Like this is the level that they're working on, and they will kill everybody and then
Mhm.
chop you up in pieces and literally gnaw on your leg.
Yeah.
It was gross. It was so gross.
As the three try to escape, Graydon is killed by the cannibals. He actually takes off first. He's like, I'm out.
Well, Graydon is also the one who made a noise that alerted them to be the Briggs and Mason. or
Yeah, the
Briggs
guy
Sam.
doing the chopping kind of stopped
Yeah.
and looked and turned
'Cause
around.
Briggs and Sam were silent. Graydon makes this weird little sound in the back of his throat, kind of
Yeah.
like he's trying to hold back puke, which I get and I understand. And that's when the chopping guy like stops.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, kid. So then they all go running. And at some point, Graydon kind of falls behind.
Yeah, it gets kind of lost.
And then the cannibal gets super stabby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The cannibals.
The cannibals. Yeah. they
Yeah.
go
And I felt
mental.
so bad for the kid. I was like, I mean, true. Nobody thought we're totally going to run into feral, like crazy cannibals.
No.
That wasn't on their
He
bingo
probably
card.
wouldn't have volunteered.
I know I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't even volunteer to go out in the cold. Oh, no, thank you. And if
Oh,
I
it's
was there,
fantastic.
I would have thrown what's his name, Graydon, to the cannibals, and then
Yes,
ran.
you would have.
Yeah. Go get him, Graydon, and then take off.
Well, it's funny because Sam and Briggs don't even realize he's not there until they start hearing the screaming, and they're like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah.
And then it takes them forever to get back to him. And I was like, "How far did you guys run ahead of him?"
Briggs and Sam are able to make it up the ladder out of the colony and destroy the shaft with a stick of dynamite. If you remember, there's a little more to it. There's some fighting. It's fine. It's all very serviceable. Yeah.
I will tell you right now, when Briggs is trying to knock that ladder down, I was starting to feel a little anxious.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, these fuckers are moving fast. Also, I was slightly unclear. Initially, I'm like, are these just crazy cannibals or are these vampires?
Mm.
I could not pick. And then I went with crazy cannibals. But yeah, this is when it all starts to, because I think from the stabbing of Graydon, that's when the intensity kind of picks up. That's when the suspense kind of picks up because you're like, his kill was so violent and so manic.
Yeah.
That you're like, well, shit, they're just going to come out of nowhere and take you out.
Yeah.
Which I think is really great.
Yeah, there's no, it's like they're not zombies, but like there's still no talking to them. There's still nothing to, like,
There's no reasoning. There's nothing that they want except for just meat. They just want to eat people.
So they get up the shaft and with a stick of dynamite, and the whole silo falls.
It really does.
Taking shelter in the abandoned helicopter, they wake up in the morning to find that the cannibals have managed to escape from the Atum Colony 5 and have tracked their footprints in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool scene. Yeah, seeing
It was.
like they're all off in the distance coming down the snow.
Yeah, you just see
And
this
then-
wave of cannibals.
Yeah, and Sam's looking and he's like, the track, they're just following the tracks.
Yeah.
Briggs suggests that they lure the group over a decrepit bridge and then use dynamite. When the dynamite fuse goes out, Briggs rushes back to light it. I'm guessing this is, they only had so much to pay Laurence Fishburne.
Can I tell you? Look, I need to say, I actually wrote the note. No, Laurence Fishburne.
Yeah, the best actor and best character in the movie gone.
I was so mad they just blew him up. And I was
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
You can have me for this much of the movie, or you can pay me this much for this much of the movie.
Do you think one day he just woke up and he was like, yo, bitch, it's too cold. I'm going home.
Mout.
Blow me up.
Yeah, do a rewrite. Briggs rushes back to light it, but is attacked by the cannibals. He relights the fuse and sacrifices himself to blow a large gap in the bridge. On his way back, Kai gets into a heated argument with Mason after learning that he intends to kill a colonist without testing her for the disease.
Mm-hmm.
And he does.
He straight up just shoots her in cold blood.
Yeah.
And also, why is Kai not shooting Mason?
Yeah. Their argument is interrupted when Kai spots a returning exhausted Sam and runs to him, but Mason promptly knocks her out. When Sam awakens, he finds Mason has taken over and plans to make harsh changes. Yeah, he's like, either you pitch in or you don't eat, and if you cough, I'm going to shoot you.
Pretty much. Literally, those are his rules. And he's like, we're on half rations now. And if you're not useful, you don't eat. And you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Sam explains that the cannibals are coming and that there is a thawed out area they should flee to. Actually, he goes into where she is, and I guess he had the coordinates.
Yeah, he had the
Leland
coordinates.
gave them the coordinates, so he looked for it.
But before that, it's when Mason is talking to him and he's still in the hospital bed and he's like, no, there's these crazy cannibals. They're going to come. They killed everybody at the colony. And they're like, you're hallucinating. Like, you were out in the cold too long. And he's like, no, but there's a place we can go. They fix the thing. It's thawed. And he's like, you're really crazy now. Fuck you. And he like handcuffs him to the bed.
Yes.
And then this little kid, Rowan comes in and picks Mason's pocket and
which
grabs
they
the
did
key.
show at the beginning of the movie because he did it to Riggs.
Yes.
So it did set that up. And the one guy did say who his son died.
Yeah.
He did say like Sam has a lot of things, but he wouldn't lie about this. So they do watch the security cameras for a while, but nothing is coming.
Yes. No, they don't see anything. So they're like, see, he was lying. And then that's when they're alerted that Sam has escaped.
Yeah. Mason does not believe him, thinking he has become unhinged by his ordeal, and handcuffs him to the bed. Sam is able to get free and checks images from a functioning satellite to locate the thawed-out zone. Then the cannibals arrive. Yeah. So the cannibals start trying to get through the hatch. This is just a diversion because they're going through the ventilation system. They've done this before. This isn't their first barbecue. They have.
Oh, Jesus. Really? Barbecue?
Well, that's what they're doing. They have the fires going. They're barbecuing.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's really great. And also, how shitty of a soldier was Mason?
Yeah.
Like, from wherever the sound was coming from, everybody turned that way. And I was like, have you never covered a space? Like, are you brand spanking new? Anyways, it was I was every time everybody turned, I was like, why is everybody turning? Shouldn't somebody be watching your back?
Yeah, it's called cover. Many of the colony's 7 inhabitants are killed, including Sam's friend Victor.
Oh yeah. But Victor
John.
went down fighting.
Yep.
Victor was like, fuck that, I'm not running.
The survivors lock themselves in a room. Sam and Kai bang on the door, but Mason will not let them in. Yeah, Mason has me written all over it.
He really does, because Mason literally they're like 5 feet away.
Yeah, and I'd be like,
There
nope.
is no one
even behind
them.
Can't
And
take
he's
chance.
like, nope, close the door. And then that one woman,
The one woman knocks him out.
Nara, she knocks him out. Because she's like,
opens the
what
door.
the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah,
And
because they
then-
fight for a bit and banging on the door, and there's still no one there.
There's still no one there. It would have been perfectly safe
Yeah.
to let them in and then close the door behind them. But Mason, the big
It's
scary
Briggs'
cat that
daughter, Nara.
Oh, is it?
That's what it says here.
Nice.
They never said that in the movie.
I really like her. She was one of my because she didn't know how to handle that gun. She was having a moment, but she was like, nah, this is wrong. So I'm gonna knock you out with your own gun.
Briggs' daughter, Nara, Lisa Berry, knocks Mason down and lets them in. Sam opens a vent for an escape route. The wounded Mason stays behind, and when the cannibals break in, shoots a propane container. Yeah, that was cool how Sam gave him the gun, and then he aimed it back at Sam, and then Sam's like, you're going to need every bullet that fucking thing.
Which is awesome. But also, here's another little factoid trivia tidbit for you. Lisa Berry, who plays Briggs' daughter in this movie, also has played Death on Supernatural.
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. Actually, that she takes over from
Julian
I'm trying to remember
Richings.
the name of it because it's kind of a Charlie or
Well, no, Charlie dies.
Oh.
R.I.P. Charlie. We're very sad. But
no, I'm trying to remember the name of that death, that Reaper. The black
Oh.
lady that becomes the Reaper. That becomes Death.
Crap, what was her name? No. Wait. It wasn't Charlie, but it was something like that. Man, this is gonna get on my nerves.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Hold on though. Because she did a season of Slasher? What? Billy.
Billy, that's it.
That's it. So she played the Reaper Billy, but then when Death gets killed, there's a void. She steps into the void, gives herself a promotion. Now she's Death. So this movie has 2 actors who have played Death on Supernatural.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so anyways, they fight a little bit. Everybody escapes through the vent. Mason is ready to shoot Sam out of spite.
He does kind of redeem himself by shooting the propane canister.
Yeah, I mean, he blows up a cup, but one of the crazy
I
cannibals
wouldn't have
makes it
done
into
that.
the.
I would have been like, they went that way and then shot myself. Get him, you fucking cannibals!
Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, if the end of the world ever happens,
Do
and you
not
come
let me
knocking
into
on my door. I
whatever
am not letting
bunker
you
you're
in.
in.
I'm a hide.
Yeah,
I'm a
if
hide.
anyone is listening or watching, yeah, if you see me coming, do not. I'm just telling you, don't let me in. Oh, what'd I do?
I don't know. Oh, you're back. You're moving again.
Yeah, don't trust me. Even if I promise.
Yeah, no. Don't believe anything he says. He will get you killed.
Yeah. The wound, or I might turn into a cannibal. The wounded Mason
Gotcha.
stays behind, and when the cannibals break in, shoots a propane container, causing an explosion that kills presumably all but the leader. The cannibals' leader pursues and attacks Sam, but Sam is able to kill him. Yeah, it's a pretty good fight. I like the end.
Mhm.
He chops his head in half. That was pretty gory.
That's one of the goriest, and it's very effective, but it grosses me out every time so much when they cut through the mouth, like at the jaw. I'm just like, oh God, I can't. It's too much. It's really gross. But I like the fight. Like they
Yeah.
were going at it. He got his like Sam kind of got his ass kicked, and then he was kicking ass. And then he thought he had kicked the cannibal's ass, and then the cannibal like pops back up again, and he's like, God.
Yeah.
Then chops off half his head.
Then he, Kai, Nar, and a few others begin their journey to the thawed-out site with the precious seeds. Yeah, I didn't like the ending.
The ending was anticlimactic.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah,
It was so funny because I said, I wrote a note where I was like, kind of want a sequel of them walking, like their journey.
yeah. Plus, they're just leaving, and it's like, okay, I know there are parts of it on fire. Go find a fucking jacket, dude. Everyone's leaving. They got t-shirts on, and like, he's got one can of seeds.
No, he has a
get
backpack.
some more.
He has a backpack.
He has a
filled
backpack, but you could get some more. Go grab a
I'm also
rabbit.
like, did
and
you
a chicken. I
grab?
saw a chicken.
There were chickens.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like this is
What are you
like
gonna do,
I
eat
understand you're in a
snow?
rush. And I understand you don't want to encounter the cannibals again. I get that. But you're gonna show up with what? 4 cans of like pumpkin seeds?
Yeah, let's grow some pumpkins. They're gonna be like, what? You couldn't bring us some more seeds?
Didn't like nothing, lettuce, tomato. They were harvesting tomato seeds. So I'm like,
Yeah,
you couldn't.
yeah. Get some.
Did you bring tomato seeds?
Some cucumber.
Yeah.
Squash. Yeah.
A little bit of give them some leafy.
But a couple
greens.
of them only had like shirts on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think it's around the corner where this 8 mile of.
No, it is not. And
You
they
might
just
wanna
start
dress
walking.
for the weather.
I'm like,
Yeah, I did not like this ending.
Yeah.
All right, and that is our movie, The Colony, 2013. What is your score?
My score is to stream it. Look, is it a great movie? No. Is it a good movie? Not particularly. Is it a fun movie? Yes, once it gets going. It's a little slow on the uptake, but I think it is that way for a reason. It gives you the background. It lets you know how everything works. It shows you who the players are so that when the action picks up and everybody's making their character choices, you're like, yeah, that suits them. Like, that's for sure what Mason would do. That's for sure what Briggs would do. And it makes sense. So I like the character development so that when stuff happens later on, it all fits. It makes sense. It's good. The action was good once it got really going. It was gory. There was a lot of body parts, a lot of blood, a lot of people getting shot in the head.
Yep.
Like a lot. And I like that. So I'm always when the gore looks good, I'm in. And the gore for the most part, for something that's not that big of a movie, I was pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I think it's a fun time, and I think if you can stream it for free, you should.
Yeah.
Yep. What's your rating?
I agree. It was not a great movie, but it wasn't a horrible. It's very serviceable
Mhm.
across the board, other than the ending. The gore, the directing, they knew what they had, and that's what they used. They knew what they had to use, what they got, what their resources were, and even the cuts, the shots, the editing. It's a very and it was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it. I would stream it. This is a stream. I might watch it again, not anytime soon, but down the road, if I see it on a streaming service that I have, I would probably watch it again. But I wouldn't pay money for it. But it's worth if you see it and you haven't seen it, it's worth a stream. If you remember liking it, I wouldn't run out and buy this. I look for it to stream.
It's a light, entertaining B movie, which has some interesting undertones of, climate change is real. Sometimes you can't find a quick fix for things when you screw things up. And also, please don't kill random people just because they get the sniffles.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jimmy.
Yeah, unless you're me. Here's our poll, which actually had the most people take part in it since Dante's Peak.
Amazing.
Okay, so we had hold on one sec. Just get rid of you. We had Buy It, Frozen Apocalypse, and Cannibals. Oh, for the love of God. 21%. Rent for some cannibalistic gore, 6%. Stream for okay action and gore, 62%. Skip it. Cannibals like this story sucks, 11%. So actually, the majority,
Agree with
62%
us.
said stream. Yeah.
Look at that. We're all on the same page. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so what did the movie do right? What did the movie do wrong? What could have made it be a rental or a buy?
Honestly, a revision of the ending.
Yeah.
I want something a little more definitive. It just kind of felt like it stopped mid-page, you know?
Yeah.
And also, even though I love the character development, I think we could have shortened that up a little bit. Like the slow start, I think could have been picked up a little bit. But what it did, I mean, like I said, the gore, the action, when it finally got started, it was great. I like the relationship between Briggs and Sam. They did the actual characters really well, because when they made choices in the movie, they all made sense.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing that you were like, why would the character do that? It all made sense. So I think they did that really well.
Yeah, because I like the part where they're in the helicopter and Briggs, Laurence Fishburne, was talking about when everything was going to shit. Him and Mason were
Yep.
part of an army division that had people in I guess a stadium or something, and he was telling how bad it went. And I liked how Sam was kind of saying that him and his parents went to this place. His dad left with a bunch of people, never returned. Him and his mom and a sister got lost in the snowstorm, and then he never found them again, and Briggs found them. Yeah, the character development was there, the gore was there, the action was they did it. You could say $16 million worth of action. If you wanted more, you're going to need a lot more money. The ending really was like, what? Like, Jesus.
It was just, and we're going to walk
Yeah.
with these seeds.
Yeah.
Or with this. And you're just like, that doesn't feel very complete.
No. Yeah. In order to get this to a rent it or even a buy it, you're going to need another 16 million. And a lot less CGI, more practical. But again, like I said, if you were renting a movie, and sometimes you rent a couple and then you're like, oh, I'm going to rent one of those direct video ones. And most of the time it's like, fuck, that was a waste of $5. This one was like, but I wouldn't pay $5 for it. Stream it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very, very happy we did not need to rent this. It made me feel very secure in my choice.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So before we go, we are going to watch next week's movies. I have been picking, like my next pick was another like zombie winter horror movie. Anna is the one that's like picked these upbeat Mighty Ducks and this movie. So let's share. Next week we are going to watch 1990s. Not 90. We are Ski Patrol. Okay, first, before we watch the trailer, what do you remember about Ski Patrol?
I remember it being kind of a raunchy, little bit rude comedy. And look, there was not a lot of story. There was not a lot of depth.
No.
It was more like a collection of jokes.
Yeah.
Loosely held together by a story string. Not even a story web, a story string. So that's what I remember about it.
I'm hoping it's along the lines. I remember the one actor, I cannot remember his name, but I think he was Chainsaw from Summer School. I could have the wrong movie here. And I remember the little guy. And I'm correct, you'll know when we see it. This little guy, he was in a lot of comedies back in the day. But I remember liking it, and I'm hoping it's like, what was that other one we watched? Out Cold.
Yeah.
Where we weren't 100% sure, but it actually turned out a lot better than we thought. It wasn't fantastic or anything, but
no, it wasn't. It wasn't, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
No.
Which says a lot.
So let's watch this. Let's watch the HD trailer. Oh, that's awesome.
So 90s.
Academy comes Ski Patrol, a comedy that goes over the edge. It's a mountain full of hot dogs.
How you doing, ladies?
And dangerous curves.
Give you a push, man?
Where good and evil
Time to put a little tarnish on Ski Patrol shine.
They're everywhere!
are going head to head. Head to toe.
Oh, much better. Oh.
And head to snow. Ski Patrol. They've got 24 hours to save snowy peaks.
Just do it!
From the vile clutches of Sam Maris.
I hate snow.
What?
What?
Roof. Yeah. Make it big.
Ow!
Yes!
Any more of this crap, and I'm gonna close this mountain down.
Get down! I love it!
This is better than sex. It's got action.
Light 'em up.
Danger.
Oh!
Romance.
I have never met a man like you.
I'll bet.
And animal magnetism. Ski Patrol. It's this year's comedy that's out of control.
I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.
Oh, this is going to be terrible.
It looks horrible.
This is
But it
gonna
could be fun.
so
Was that
bad.
George Lopez?
It was George Lopez. Apparently, and that was Martin Mull that was in it.
Yes.
I think the guy who is wearing a dress and gets basically attacked by the kissing woman was Paul Feige.
Yeah, the guy from
apparently-
Summer School. That's not in here. I'm thinking of a different
Yeah.
movie.
Apparently, Leslie Jordan is in this.
That's the little guy I was talking
Yeah,
about.
Ray
Paul Feig,
Walston. Yeah,
doing some acting before he did some directing.
correct. So I
Yvette
think it'll be
Naper?
What?
Yvette Naper?
Yvette,
Oh.
Napar?
Yvette.
who you've seen, I think.
Yeah, she's been in a
Wait,
few
let me see.
movies.
Yeah, she was in RoboCop. Hey, how
Oh,
you
the
doing?
TV series. That was one of the most expensive TV shows out of its time. Like
Which
$1 million
makes
an episode. Sucked too.
Also, she was in the 2 Walking Tall sequels with Kevin Sorbo. I'm sorry,
With
Yvette.
Hercules.
I'm sorry you had to work with him.
I love Kevin Sorbo. I love Hercules.
Okay, look, I watched Hercules and I loved Hercules. I hate Kevin Sorbo. He is a terrible, terrible person. However, he does give Lucy Lawless a lot of opportunities to troll him. So I can't be totally mad at him because every time he's a douchebag online, she's right there and she just like pops up and like trolls him and like insults him. And it's really entertaining. It's fantastic.
So are we okay? So you're gonna what do you think?
I think I'm
Oh,
gonna
Steve-
hate this movie.
yeah,
I don't know why I remember liking it. I think probably
Yeah.
because I was like 11 or 12 when I first saw it. And it's, ridiculous and it's what I thought adults did. Like, before you realize what life is actually like.
Yeah. MPAA, is that what it is? Rating?
Yeah.
It's PG. No boobies for Jimmy.
No boobies for Jimmy. But there were girls in fur coats.
There
and
were, and they had
bikinis.
bikinis on. Very, I know it's 1990, but that's some very 80s hair going on there.
There is,
So
well,
it had been filmed in 89.
I was literally thinking, I was like, this is exceptionally 1990 because there's that weird point
that
in 1990
Bright color.
where it's like it has 80s and it's the transition into the 90s style.
Yeah.
So you just have that, it's that little window so short, and this movie looks quintessentially 1990.
I think I like that part of it.
Yeah, I think I love that part.
I think the movie itself not gonna be so great,
But
but
I think it's going to be a pile of shit, to be perfectly honest. And I don't know why I thought this was a good idea.
Huh,
I'm sure it
fair
was funny to 11-year-old me.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. because this would have been a rental. This would have been like on the walk to Blockbuster. This looks funny.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I did not see this in theaters.
yeah, oh, fuck no.
No. Okay. Well, thank you for coming back to 2013. Not that long ago. Well, 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
Try that again, my
12.
friend. We're in 2025. It's 12 years ago.
Shit.
Yeah, I had to do that math. I literally had to do the math because I was like 2013. That wasn't very long ago. And then it was like 12 years. Oh, shit.
Damn. Damn. Didn't seem that long ago.
I know.
And watching and going over The Colony with Laurence Fishburne and Bill Paxton, which wasn't horrible, wasn't fantastic. A definite stream it for both of us. And 60 some odd % of people that did the poll agreed with us. All right. Well, until the next movie we remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.